Hello. Sorry for that delay. Also for the runners apparently already starting. We're having another, and the layout is back. Not entirely sure what's happening. Okay, seems like we're good now. Okay, so first of all, sorry for the delays. We were just waiting on one of the opponents here. Showing you some more Metroid Fusion Randomizer here today. This is the second matchup between FPIS and Lunix. Currently, we're just taking a while to resync both runners while they already found their speed booster. The Metroid Fusion Randomizer, people usually go to the data room first on the main deck and find one of three items, which is going to be either the missile data, the morph ball, or the speed booster, as is in this case, which then afterwards they go down to the sectors, and depending on which items they have, they choose to do different sectors to visit in their first visit there. Meanwhile, with the FPIS showing off a quicker Shine Spark. Lunix kind of failed these Shine Sparks yesterday. Let's see if it does today. Seems good. FPIS meanwhile finds an E-tank and is heading down to the sectors. Entering Sector 2. Meanwhile, I'm joined by a co-commentator here.
I'm not going to commentate, I'll just be tracking the tank.
Okay. Sounds good enough. No co-commentator snake, sorry. Okay, FPIS is currently heating up to the level 2 lock. Opening that while Lunix checks one item he can check with a speed boost, which is an E-tank, that he immediately picks up. FPIS will probably check this item later. Lunix thinking. Now also heading over to the level 2 data room. Level 2 log room, while FPIS makes his way to the data room to check what items he can find there. Lunix getting hit by a lot of Zoras on the way there. FPIS meanwhile doing the same thing he did yesterday of speed boosting into this one block that can only be opened with bombs otherwise, and goes into the data room to find the missile data, which is good. It's a very required item for him. With this, he's probably going to head over to Sector 1, potentially. But getting a speed booster ready to also check the Kego item on the transition to Sector 1, which he kind of will be, or not. Which he will be disappointed anyway that he goes back to redo this trick now with the E-tank that he's going to find there. Lunix meanwhile entering the data room to get his missile data. And if FPIS is opting to check the item, says he doesn't need the E-tank. Lunix trying to speed boost out of Sector 2, but bonks into a wall. FPIS not as expected going into Sector 1, but opting to check one item in Sector 3 rather than that. He might be able to do more there, but we will have to see. Oh, iLunix meanwhile going to Iraq. This is going to be interesting. Yesterday, FPIS made the right play. Currently the players are looking for Morph Ball, which is the one item that's kind of blocking a lot of their progress. Yesterday, FPIS made the correct play to go to Arachnis, which happened to have the Morph Ball. And this time, iLunix happens to make the play to Arachnis first, while FPIS finds Space Jump in Sector 3. You can check one more item here, which he's probably going to do. But if this is Morph Ball, then FPIS once again made the absolute correct call. iLunix meanwhile opting to do the more item density heavy play by going to the Arachnis area, which offers him 5 items. While FPIS is charging up for a speed boost, because the way towards the item is a heated room full of lava. He's gonna see what he's gonna find there. Another major. And it's the gravity suit, which is a good find, because the gravity suit is one of the required items to finish this game, which are the speed booster, gravity suit, charge beam, and plasma beam. As in, you need a way to open the level 4 security, which is the red security doors that are located in the lower water sector 4. And the plasma and charge beam are used to damage the SAX, which is required to finish the game to spawn the Omega Metroid. iLunix heading over to the Arachnis area now, is refilling. Choosing not to save. At the moment, it seems like FPIS is behind. iLunix, however, will have to go where FPIS was anyway later to pick up the required gravities as well. iLunix finds ice missiles there. That does not really help him to get out of this area again. FPIS chooses to go into Sector 1. Let's go. Now this is interesting. We have the 2 plays here. iLunix currently is soft locked in the game if he does not indeed find the Morph Ball in the Arachnis area. While FPIS is opting to check a few items in Sector 1, hoping to find his Morph Ball there. Basically the exactly reverse situation from yesterday. iLunix, however, is going to have a somewhat easier fight with the Arachnis, because the ice missiles deal more damage than the regular missiles. However, due to still the lack of them not having super missile data, the missiles are still kind of weak compared to if they would find a charge beam, but it's better than nothing, I guess. iLunix finding said super missile data. Currently only has Arachnis as a check left, which is kind of going to be a problem. I unfortunately did not check if FPIS saw a major there or not, but I can check again on the way back, where we see iLunix fighting Arachnis and FPIS just transporting over a lava room, finding a jump there. Once again, nothing that he needs. You can check 2 more items here in Sector 1, which is this one, a missile pack, and iLunix finds an energy tank. Well, seems like FPIS made the right play of at least not going to Arachnis now, and is probably going to find the Morph Ball down here as the very last item he can check in Sector 1. iLunix probably not very happy with the position. At least he has the intel that super missile data and ice missile data is up there. If FPIS finds Morph Ball here, and potentially something that is still very useful for him, he might actually opt to not check Arachnis at all, and then potentially miss out on the super missile data, which is going to potentially hurt him a lot in the long run. Yes, the next item has to be Morph, because it's the only check that is left in the game. That is currently in logic for the players to obtain. And if FPIS finds that Morph Ball. iLunix meanwhile has to Shine Spark again to get back into the sectors, because he does not have a Morph Ball. Fails that Shine Spark. FPIS is now going to fight the Charge Core. Would be very useful to have the super missile that he has, but would be kind of a bad decision to go up to Arachnis now and not to finish this sector off, especially because he can check a lot of items here with the gravity suit that he already finds, which could turn into an advantage for him. But we will have to see if he opts to check these or not. Getting a lot less hydro beams today than he got yesterday, so he's probably happy about that. iLunix finally making his way past the speed barrier blocking him from the sectors. Just choosing to check the item underwater there. Kills the crab with a missile while he falls down. Usually when you play Hundo Fusion normally, you just use screw attack to do it. Kinda his only option to do this at the moment is to use a missile to kill that crab there. Because otherwise, if he gets hit by the crab, his speed boost will be gone. And he needs to spark up there to destroy one speed block that is blocking him from the item. Now checking another item that's blocked by speed here above the charge core, which is just a power bomb tank he is not opting to take. Fighting the charge core. Does not get doubles, probably not happy. Gets one double, I think, here at the end. And finds the warriors. Pez seems very sad now. With what he now has, it kind of... iLunix also checking Sector 3. Finding Space Jump, and then probably also going to find his gravity suit. Kind of retracing the steps that FPiz has. Is opting to skip another E-Tank. Yeah, sorry, we forgot to mention this due to all the chaos we had at the beginning of this race. FPiz is currently ahead by 1 in this best of 3 match, so iLunix has to win this one in order to still have a chance to progress. Otherwise, he would go and move on to the losers brackets. So what I was trying to say, FPiz might opt to not check Arachnus with what he currently has, because he has a lot of other options at the moment. What he currently most likely is looking for is bomb data, which is blocking him from a lot of other locations he could go. But we'll have to see where he chooses to go once he leaves Sector 1. iLunix misses the Shine Spark. Could just use his Space Jump to easily Space Jump through the heated room. Kinda has to only evade the lava jets that deal a lot of damage without any suit protection. But now gets another speed boost. Boost through here. And finds his gravity suit. Currently both players still only missing the charge beam and the plasma beam for their go mode to be able to finish the game. But those could be anywhere except on the very loud Space Pelican Ridley. Because the randomizer currently is programmed in a way that Ridley cannot have these 2 items, because fighting Ridley without them would be way too tedious. FPiz choosing to go into Sector 4. Not doing the one play he did yesterday where he destroyed this one block that's usually a bomb block with the speed booster, and just opting to check one item. As I currently mentioned in chat, we have 2 options where we could have progression, either down here where FPiz is currently. This is exactly the place where bombs were in yesterday's seed for these 2 runners. Well, which is the case again today, I guess. I hope iLunix should probably still remember this place, because he unfortunately died twice today in the race and lost a lot of progress and had to pick up these bombs like 3 times. So he might hopefully not get any flashbacks to yesterday's race with this. Finding bombs now, FPiz actually has the opportunity to enter Sector 4 and check all the items there with his gravity suit, speed booster, and missiles, which is all he needs to clear. Everything is there. iLunix instantly finding a major, trying to get it, but forgetting that he does not have more for. Which can happen in this randomizer, because the Morph Ball is not, unlike Super Metroid or Zero Mission, blocking a lot of early game progress, so you can actually do quite a lot in this game without the Morph Ball. Just checking more items in Sector 4. Oh, nothing. iLunix heading up, going over to Sector 1, hopefully now to grab his Morph Ball. He's choosing not to pick up any E-Tanks. Gonna drain the water here now. Potentially, or just check the item that is underwater without draining the water. He chooses not to drain the water because he can. FPIS currently only has Ceres left to check in this sector, which is most likely going to defeat, because we've seen in a few races now that it's kind of not the best play to skip Ceres, especially when you can just easily kill it. Because in some cases, a lot of good progression has been in Ceres, actually. And we'll have to see what Ceres has in store for FPIS. He's choosing to save before Ceres, interesting. He can easily get out of the Ceres room because he has speed booster to exit through the normal way, or gravity suit and space jump to exit through the way he went in. But he probably is just choosing to save to have a quicker way out of there. One item check that FPIS chooses to do now is that the power bomb pack there that he is glad that he did not pick up, because otherwise he would have to have gone out of his way and check this item instead. Trying to get doubles on that Ido, but the Ido refuses. He has to be kind of careful to not blast all of his missiles in there, because he would have to go back to farm more missiles for this. He's now fighting Ceres. Lunix going down. Yeah, so close to him. Fighting Ceres with missiles is kind of slow. Even the vanilla speedrun usually starts him. You can, however, if you time it properly, you can land a double missile hit on Ceres. This kind of has to be careful with not just shooting his missiles everywhere. Because if he runs out of Ceres, it's GG for him and he has to reload, because he can only damage Ceres with the missiles at the moment. Because the only two things that damage Ceres are the charge beam and missiles. And he gets the kill on Ceres. Lunix opting to go out of Sector 1 again. I did not see if he picked up his morph ball. It is not on the tracker, but I assume that he got it because he went down there. Also forgot to check what FPIS got. But I assume it is nothing important. Lunix seems to be confused. While FPIS makes his way out of Sector 4. Yeah, it seems like Lunix is confused about not having morph ball and is planning on what to do now. Standing on top of the Sector 2 elevator and just planning his next steps. Going back up to the main deck, where I hope he's not going to try to check checks he cannot check, which are blocked by morph ball. But we'll see what he's gonna do. Well, if FPIS makes his way out of Sector 4, he might be going into... no love again for Sector 2 today. I hope Plaz will be missing Sector 2 again for FPIS is finally going to do the checks at Arachnus. Lunix meanwhile realizing that all the checks he wants to do, he is not able to do because he is lacking a lot of items. Trying to ask Adam for help. But does not want that in from Adam. Well, Adam unfortunately cannot help you in this. Progress is not authorized by Adam. It is Lunix is trying to check these items down there by destroying some speed blocks, potentially not knowing that he actually needs power bombs to check both of these items that are down there once he's past the speed blocks. But he's probably going to realize this very soon. So what FPIS and Lunix currently are looking for is the bomb data, which is preventing them from opening the level 3 logs. He's finding his ice missiles, later going to find his super missiles, and then defeating Arachnus quickly. Lunix meanwhile for the third time has to struggle with the speed boost, but gets it first try this time. Still has to go down into Sector 1 and check that one item that he also opted to not check yesterday. Could be that he's not aware of this item being a check that he can still do without Morph Ball. But it's also quite deep in Sector 1 already, and if it is not Morph Ball, which, I mean, as we know it is, he would have to backtrack quite a bit. Go down the elevator, Lunix. Go down, you will find Morph Ball there. Yeah, good job. But now please also go down further into Sector 1. Piz meanwhile making short work of Arachnus with his ice super missiles. And one-shotting the core, getting an E-tank that he kinda had not too many of, so he probably is happy in the long run that he has more E-tanks now. It'll be interesting to see where FPiz is choosing to go next. He has a few options available to him. He could go into Sector 6, check items there, which would require him to do quite a bit of shine sparking if he chooses to check the wrong items, in case bombs is in Sector 6. He could check stuff in Sector 5, which is going to be in the destroyed state already because he found the gravity suit. But will not be able to progress far into Sector 5 without bombs, which is currently what is blocking him quite a bit. He could also choose to check stuff in Sector 3 or Sector 2. I assume he's going to avoid Sector 2 again because he constantly avoided it yesterday, but we'll have to see what he's going to do. He's checking to go into Sector 3, while Lunix continues his way. Oh, FPiz got bombs. Oh, well then, FPiz has a lot to do. Apparently choosing to check one more item here in Sector 3, which was locked by him not having bombs the last time he visited here. While Lunix finally finds his Morph Ball, FPiz meanwhile failing to store a Shine Spark here, which is required to destroy these two speed blocks up there. Finds a missile pack, chooses to pick it up, which he might consider picking up a few more missile packs at the moment, seeing that Charge Beam is currently nowhere to be found. Now going further down into Sector 3 while Lunix makes his way to the Charge Core. He's choosing to go the long way. Not sure why he probably wanted to go in there first, further, realize that the enemies were not in that room, which are triggered by the level 2 security locks being opened. Therefore reopening the level 2 locks because they would prevent him from progressing a lot. He could check one item without opening them, but the safer play is to just open Sector 3 and then check everything in one go. Lunix struggling here with... Oh, Lunix has to farm for a missile pack, for a missile drop in order to get his 3 missiles that he is required to kill the Idol if he can miss one shot. Gets a double in and destroys it, and does not opt to check the item that's below and above Charge Beam, but he might choose to do so afterwards. Piz meanwhile finds an E-tank, skips it first and then picks it up. Chooses to check a few more items down here that he can, because he has Warrior Suit to avoid the heat damage in that room, and Space Jump to actually reach them, and does not require him freezing enemies. Only finds 2 power bomb packs that he does not want, as it seems. Lunix now opting to check the 2 other items down here. Yesterday he had quite some trouble with ice missiles constantly freezing the enemies. This time with normal missiles he does not have that problem. It's gonna be interesting to see if he... if he knows that he has to kill the crab first before jumping down there, because that crab just destroyed his speed boost. Which he has to get again now. Bob, meanwhile, not of interest for FPiz. Going down, going to the security robot here now. which is going to fight soon, can actually destroy this barrier here. That is iLunix, meanwhile, losing another speed boost attempt here. It's going to be interesting to see how long he is going to do this. Probably just until he runs out of missiles, because at some point he just has to make the call to if this is worth it or not. FPIS refilling his missiles to fight Box. iLunix, meanwhile, failing it again. We've seen on FPIS's side how to do this specific trick that he's trying to do. So if you want to make it safe, you just shoot the missile down, recharge your Shine Spark at that small ledge there, and then just drop down in the already destroyed part of the room and then spark up, while FPIS makes somewhat short work of Box with the super missiles that he has, and the ice missiles, which require less than 10 missiles to kill off Box. Checks the data room. And finds just an energy tank. iLunix, meanwhile, opting to go for another attempt at the speed booster puzzles here. Gets hit. Cannot get a Shine Spark here. While FPIS checks further and further into Sector 3. Nothing that he wants. Checks this one item here, which is a missile pack. Opts not to cheat this time. So we'll just leave it at that. There's another item up there, above that side hopper room, but it is power bomb blocked. You can technically use your ways there by clipping through that wall to get this item, but FPIS chooses not to do it this time, as it seems. Opting to go somewhere else instead, while iLunix makes at least one item check here with a power bomb pack. He's not very happy, probably, that he spent, as it seems like 5 minutes almost on these two checks. But he probably already feels behind anyway, so he kind of felt forced to check these items in case it's something important. FPIS actually checking Sector 2 now. The place that hurt him somewhat yesterday, because Plasma Beam ended up being here, and it was quite a late check for FPIS, so he probably just chooses to avoid this happening again today. Sector 2, the treasure trove. Sector 2, I mean, Sector 2 is a lot of runners choose to just avoid Sector 2 because it's just so big and feels empty, and the items are quite far apart to at least check all of them. It's quite difficult to route Sector 2 efficiently. There's always one item that's more out of the way. Having Space Jump here, though, FPIS can check actually quite a bit here in Sector 4. Some more missiles would not hurt him. But we're gonna see if he chooses to pick up some more missile packs along the way. Apparently, he does not want to. So there's one boss in this Sector 2, which is called Nettery. It's the plant boss that makes the station's reactor go full of vines everywhere, which can only be hurt by missiles and the charge beam. But the boss itself offers no farming spot for missile drops, so FPIS would have to go in there with at least the ammo that he needs to kill it, which he currently does not have. While iLunix apparently splicing. I have not seen what the splicing is about. Probably just a frame drop somewhere. He had some connection issues yesterday too, so maybe it's just that again. Yeah, the Rio going down here. Not getting hit by the blue Zoro. Choosing not to pick up a missile. It seems like FPIS is either banking on absolutely finding charge beam down here, or he's not willing to fight Nettery at all. While iLunix makes his way into Sector 4 to pick up the major that he saw but could not pick up because he did not have Morph Ball at that point. Quite a sad moment to watch, and is probably super happy that he found the bomb data down here. So that he also can use bombs now. And FPIS actually finding the charge beam. It's like, I think he knew. I mean, he definitely did not know, but it's quite a coincidence that he actually finds the charge beam down here. And does not have to pick up additional missiles. He's probably super happy now, or super mad that a required item is once again in Sector 2, which he seems to not really like to check at all. Lunix realizing he can check more in Sector 4 and going there. He's probably gonna be happy with what he finds there. But is opting to fight Zazabi, the jumping monster. One of the many, as Super Metroid would call it, one of the many fun tunes in this game. Because this game has a lot of RNG still left. Which is why we all love this game, because it controls us in so many ways with the RNG. Let's just see how many jumps FPS gets. Oh, 0 jumps first round. But then 3 jumps in the next round. So he probably was happy during the first round. And then not happy anymore in the second round. While just humping that ledge, and then gets 1 jump again in the last round. He's probably happy with the outcome at all to get 4 jumps here. Finishes off. Fails to finish off Zazabi. So the way Zazabi works is you need to kill each phase of it with 2 hits, and the final phase, when it's just the one element, it needs 4 hits to be killed. These hits can be either a charge shot, which with the normal charge beam that FPS has is 2 particles, so 2 hits, and then 2 missiles, or just 4 missiles. But doesn't find anything that he needs here. So he might choose to kill the other boss that's here in Sector 2 too, just to be done with Sector 2 in general. Shows off some many percent strats here, FPS. Lunix meanwhile charging a Shine Spark into a wall. He probably was hoping to store the Shine Spark somewhere on a ramp, which has unfortunately not been there. Because it seems like he just wanted to Shine Spark up here. Checking one other item here, while FPS makes his way up here. For now, choosing to avoid the other boss. Which I assume he is gonna fight it, unless he finds Plasma Beam here. But he only finds a Power Bomb pack. Lunix meanwhile making his way to the water control, also opting not to drain the water, so we're gonna have electrified water on the way back out of Sector 4. FPS now heading over to Netrui, and if Lunix chooses to reload the save at the start of Sector 4. He's definitely making some riskier plays now, trying to just conserve as much time as he can. Could potentially be hurt by lacking some missiles now, while FPS gets trolled by the spores in Netui's room. There are 2 save spots here, which is at the very far right and the very far left of this platform, which make the plan on the left not spawn any spores, because currently he can just easily stand there and not get hit by the spores. Fighting Neturi now with Charge Beam. This is gonna take a bit, because his main source of damage that he has now are the ice missiles with the super missile, and once those are out, he only has his Charge Beam left. He's probably gonna conserve at least 1 missile, potentially 2 missiles to fight off the core. Yeah, seems to definitely be this way. Lunix actually picking up missiles in Sector 2, so currently both players at the same spot. Considering that FPS did not find anything in Sector 3, if Lunix routes Sector 2 efficiently, they are actually tied again, which is making this quite a fun race to watch again. Miss Metroid MST currently saying in chat that Lunix is smarter than him. And FPS only finding a power bomb pack at Neturi. Not worth his trouble. However, having killed this boss now makes the plant infestation in Sector 2 disappear. So we might see FPS going to exterminate a bit more enemies on the way here. But he might say, yeah, he's definitely going to save now. Nope. Okay, FPS, I'm sorry for not predicting you at all. So what FPS could have done here, while Lunix finds a major that he's going to be super happy about being Charge Beam, FPS could have chosen to go into the reactor of the station where a certain other RNG heavy monster in spider form is waiting for him, having a total of 3 checks, which he could have opted to check here by, in the best case, just saving before Neturi going into the reactor, and if it's nothing, just saving back out. Because the only other way that leads into the reactor is having power bombs, which he does not have currently, or having the level 4 security opened, which he also does not have at the moment. Yeah, Herc mentions the play to do at the moment, which is going to benefit the runners a lot, is just opening the red doors, because he currently can just go down to the nightmare area, or as we have learned yesterday, the TV slime cat girl. FP's however choosing to go into Sector 6. Saving there, seems to be not too convinced that he's going to find something there, probably just going to reset if he does not find anything in Sector 6. We have seen in many instances these 2 items at the beginning of Sector 6 being some major progression. And we have the FPS finds the good beam here, the wave beam, which allows him to shoot his beam through walls, with the very small side effect that the hitbox of the beam becomes super janky. So if he actually finds nothing in here, we might see FPS actually reset, and if he is feeling great, he might actually choose to avoid picking up the wave beam again, which could maybe hurt him if he has to check certain areas like the Ridley area, where Herc before the match jokingly mentioned that speed at Ridley area, where he needs, he finds a major, and he finds the power bomb data, which is kind of a bad find for FPS because it opens up quite a few more new checks. It's however a good find actually, because once he goes into Sector 5, he can check everything that there is in Sector 5. iLunix meanwhile opting also to potentially check Nattery, which we will have to see. Checks that one item here first. Because meanwhile going down to the area where in the vanilla game there is a SAX encounter, where the SAX just uses a power bomb to blow up blocks for you. Where FPiz is just going to use his power bombs maybe to block, to remove these blocks, but we could also see him do something else that he did yesterday. But considering he enters the room in Morph Ball, okay, FPiz currently is absolutely trying to show off. He could just choose to destroy the blocks with the power bomb, which, considering how quickly FPiz pulled off his cheating here by clipping through a wall, is actually way faster than the power bomb timer would take to go off. So good for FPiz that he chooses to do this, and he finds another major down here. The screw. Okay, FPiz is probably not very happy with what he found here in Sector 6, because with what he found here, he is absolutely cannot reload his save, or otherwise he would have to do Sector 6 again. With the screw attack that he found here, and the power bombs, the whole station is now open to FPiz, so he basically can check all the available locations, minus Ridley itself, for wherever the plasma beam is, and we currently have the classic plasma hunt, which we've seen quite so many in the tournament already. Fighting the Megacore, which requires the charge beam to be killed and to be spawned. Getting nice doubles there. And very nice doubles by FPiz. Finding the white beam, which is a good find because he's probably happy that he finds his Sector 6 absolutely stacked with items. Wave beam, white beam, screw attack, power bomb data. At least the white beam fixes the hitbox that his beam has, so he's not wavy anymore, he's just going straight again. Yeah, he actually found the actual good beam. It is going to be interesting if all of these items that FPiz found here are actually going to lead him to where Plasma Beam ends up being in the end. If iLunix opts not to go into Sector 6 and actually finds Plasma Beam in some other place where he goes first, he might actually have a chance to win too. Because it seems like FPiz is ahead at the moment, just having way more items, but FPiz has the disadvantage of having the whole station open for him to check. Opting to check one more item here. Yeah, obviously, unless the Plasma Beam is locked by any of these items that FPiz found, then he obviously has the advantage. But as we currently don't know, and for the sake of having a more exciting race, it would be fun if none of the items that FPiz found here are required to finish the game for this seed. Yes, FP's checked the other missile above those crumble blocks. He just, when he space jump up there, he just checked what item it was, determined it's a missile pack, I don't need it, and then just decided to leave. And for the next step, I assume not being able to call FP's choices too well today, that he's going to Sector 5. Not the way he's currently going, but he's just checking one item here, which is a major, and he finds it. He was probably happy that he could potentially find the plasma beam, but he only found the diffusion missiles. He's gone. Yeah, he's not very happy. As you can see him shooting missiles everywhere. So, not having found plasma beam yet, FP's kinda, he has two options now. He can open the red doors, but it's probably the safer call for now to actually clear up Sector 5 first and check all the items there, than to only open the red doors by going through Sector 5 and then just leaving and then having to backtrack to Sector 5. iLunix meanwhile going into Sector 3, where he's not going to be happy with what he finds there, because as we've already seen on FP's side, Sector 3 does not really hold anything that he wants, opening his level 2 security. Yes, Ridley is very much in logic for FP's. Ridley itself not, because the plasma beam cannot be on Ridley, but the area where Ridley is in can have plasma beam. FP's is probably going to be saving the animals now by just ignoring that the animals exist and just check what items they have, and then just leaving again. But the animals are fine. We see them in the credits, so they probably get out there somehow. While iLunix wenches further into Sector 3. So where's Chad expecting plasma to be? I see lower Sector 4 on Yakuza. And Herc is probably a fan of... I mean, Herc knows anyway where plasma is. Herc seems to be a fan of Ridley. But he could just as well be a fan of just seeing someone go to Ridley, because it's something that we do not really see too often. Biz meanwhile choosing to check these other main checks here on the main deck. It would be interesting to see if he actually opts to go down. He finds the plasma beam here on the main deck. So now we have confirmed that Piz actually with the massive lead due to having power bombs. While he's dancing here on main deck. He seems to be very unhappy with finding the plasma beam that late, considering that he took his time to dance around and shoot missiles everywhere. And as Circus mentioned, FPIS is still actually lacking one upgrade in form of the ice beam. I cannot even tell if FPIS is now happy that he finally found plasma beam, or if he's unhappy that he found plasma beam so late. FPIS is now going straight into Sector 5, going down straight to the FPIS is doing something. I'm not too sure what FPIS is actually doing. I guess we'll just see. What is FPIS doing? I hope he does not think that he already opened the level 4 security, because that's kinda... Yeah, he definitely thinks that he unlocked it. Oh, FPIS, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. What is he doing? No way. Oh my god. What the hell is FPIS? FPIS is... What is he doing? I don't even... I definitely have to ask him later why he's doing this. There's a few ideas I have why he's doing this. Yeah, just... He's actually saving the animals. I just literally said, FPIS, that we see the animals in the credits. They are fine. They somehow get out of there. He gets some like somewhat fast animals, but he loses... I still have to ask him why. Oh, Chad is angry at FPIS for saving the animals. Quite understandable. This is like... I don't know what he's thinking, but yeah, I mean, I kind of have to say, if he loses because of this, then it's well deserved that he loses. Herc meanwhile hoping that FPIS manages to do a frame perfect soft lock. by pressing a button at the perfect frame to make him stuck in the chat box that opens up after the animals go out of their room, which unfortunately did not happen. Yeah, you just missed FPIS saving the animals for... I guess we're definitely gonna get into this. Who is winning? FPIS is definitely losing because he saved the animals for no reason. And now actually finally going down into Sector 5, opening the red locks. I'm so sorry. I absolutely cannot predict anything FPIS does. I mean, who could have been able to predict that he would save the animals? Yeah, if he would have, he probably assumes that he probably either assumes that he already has lost because iLunix might have done the plays into Sector 6 and is just finishing any minute now, or he thinks that he's so far ahead that he has the leisure to actually save the animals. We're gonna find out soon because he won't take that long to finish the game. iLunix meanwhile cleaning up Sector 3 here, while FPIS makes his way down to the level 4 security, completely ignoring the most ignored level 3 security that most of the time is not required to be opened, just like in this one here. Taking the shortcut with screw attack down here, skipping another missile pack. While iLunix checks the other item there, which he's gonna be sad that is only going to be a missile pack. FPIS making short work of lower sector 4 with the screw attack that he has. That just destroys all the bomb blocks that are here. And with his almost full beam combo, just tearing through all the fishes down here. That is interesting. That was an interesting way to open the door, but it works for FPIS, I guess. Yeah, there's a level 3 security. I heard that it's somewhere in the game. Have never seen it personally. We will see. iLunix meanwhile leaving Sector 3. Yeah, because there's a lot of possible ways to open the doors in this game. Either bombs, power bombs, or the diffusion missile. It's a very well programmed Metroid game. Is going out to the back of Sector 4. Could have also chosen to take out the vanilla way with the diffusion missiles that he has, so actually a slightly short open vanilla way, which probably at the end comes out to the same time. Does a slightly swag space boost here out of Sector 4. I assume he's just trying to show off at the moment. I mean, it's not like he has not had a lot of instances where he's just doing some tricks for the sake of showing off. Like clipping through Sector 6 while having power bombs. Now finally making his way up to the SAX. iLunix meanwhile checking items in Sector 5, not knowing that he is at the wrong place. But as we haven't seen these items from FPIS, it's gonna be interesting if iLunix maybe runs into Ice Beam somewhere and he finds the Ice Beam. Well, I guess we at least know now where all the mages in this game are. And I like to take credit for calling this Ice Beam. While FPIS makes his way up to the SAX encounter. iLunix still looking for the plasma beam to finish the game. Could open the level 5 security, which isn't choosing not to do. Rather going down to Sector 5 as it seems. Which is currently in its flooded state because of the gravity suit that he has. Yeah, the ice missiles are in the Arachnus area, where iLunix checked first without having Morphball to get back out of. While FPIS checked it later and had the option to get out of, which is why FPIS has actually super missiles and ice missiles. Why FPIS makes very short work of the SAX here. Getting the quick kill on the SAX. iLunix meanwhile checking more checks that we have currently not seen. This might have been a double. This was a double. And this... we'll see what that was. Okay, the first one was not a double. FPIS gets one double at the ice core. And was not very happy after seeing that he only got one. Lunix meanwhile opening the level 3 security, the thing that we have heard about but never seen. Yeah, it is actually there. It exists. 50 minutes in, level 3 security unlocked. Lunix probably now choosing to check some more items that he has here in Sector 5, not knowing that he is in the absolute wrong spot. He's now also just stopped. He might be thinking how he gets back out of here, but he has all the items already. Could also be that due to the restream lag that we have, that FP is already finished and he just chooses to not finish the race. Which I currently cannot see as I do not have the race channel open. Well, FPIS gets the low height Giants perk to the Omega Metroid here. His only way to still win the game, despite having finished off the freed the animals, is to pogo the Omega Metroid, which he chooses not to. So FPIS definitely lost per default by saving the animals, which is something that you do not do. Don't worry, we're gonna roast him for doing this. We're gonna get an explanation why he does this. Lunix still has not forfeited from the game, so Lunix is still in the race technically. But FPIS already has finished, at least in the race channel. Which also kind of spoils that he's not going to die to the Omega Metroid. Desi is killed now. But Lunix seemed to have just accepted his defeat and does not want to continue this seed anymore. FPIS seems to be happy now that he won. Yeah, I'm sorry for spoiling the ending. I mean, everyone was curious why. Oh, yeah, we now have confirmation of Lunix too that he has actually forfeited the game. Yeah, the restream is seems to be quite a bit behind. Mostly due to probably the setup issues we had at the beginning. And FPIS taking 2 victories here and therefore advancing while Lunix is going down to the loser's bracket. Let me just check who FPIS's future opponents could be. FPIS is going to be up against the winner of the Darkstar and Dragonfangs match.
Hello.
Hello, FPIS. Give me 1 second while we have to talk about something that you did. And you know what we did.
Oops.
You're gonna be facing the winner of the Darkstar and Dragonfangs.
Yeah.
Race where Dragonfangs currently is 1 ahead.
Yeah, I know.
While Lunix
Yeah, and the loser with who?
is also going to face the loser of Darkstar and Dragonfangs. So basically,
yeah.
So
I'm really scared by Dragonfangs, to be honest.
you should.
I want to definitely do these things in his race with him versus him if he wins.
So yeah, I mean, it was kind of decided by chat majority that you have actually lost this race because you did something that you were not supposed to do. So do you have anything to say? Why did you do this?
Why not?
What do you mean? Why not?
I mean, they were over there, and later I realized that I could have done that like on the way to fight SAX.
Yeah, you could have not done this at all. How about that?
I know, but I said power bombs were a little bit in a tricky place.
Yes,
and
Sector 6 was absolutely stacked.
Considering like how the race went yesterday, I said there's no way he went from Sector 6 to main deck. Like, so I have time to lose, and I say, okay, let's do this.
It was interesting seeing at the beginning of the race, if we just recap
it. I really played so bad. You know how I play, and my movements were like super trash. Yeah. Like, anyway.
You finding missile data first was actually pretty good. Interesting was you choosing not to go up to Arachnis today like you did yesterday, but Lunix actually made the play to Arachnis first this time, finding all the missile upgrades there.
Yeah, it's always math. Like I always said, yesterday went like this, tomorrow it can't be. So it's always a gamble. That's the randomizer. Like yeah, I tried to read the seed. Like I knew that in Sector 4 there were bombs probably, so I went there, and it was like the right decision.
This reading the seed also include saving the animals.
Yes. No. That was for content because like people waited like 30 minutes before the race, so like just to give me something.
So many people were in chat, like were saying like, I hope he loses because of this.
Well, I would have not been angry if I lost because of that.
When you decided to do this, did you feel ahead, or were you just
Yes,
like, I probably lost already and I'm just gonna save
no,
the animals for the sake of it?
No, I said I'm ahead because of I went to main deck to check the power bombs things.
Yeah, finding plasma beam on main deck actually was
yes,
good.
I didn't. I was pretty sure it was in Sector 5, but I said, okay, let's go to main deck, then unlock red doors, and yeah, it was in main deck. Really weird position.
I made quite a few wrong calls on where you actually would go. Mostly surprised by you actually going into Sector 2 today.
Yeah, poor Sector 2. Always alone. Oh.
Yeah, how are you feeling now that you've won both of your races? One of the few people actually to only 2-0.
Nah, that's okay. Like, it's just the start. I'm not particularly happy with how I'm playing. Like, the routing was okay, but my movements today were really bad. I'm not used to play this bad. I don't know why, but I played bad. Yesterday, my routing was... I'm not happy with the routing, so I need to improve reading the seed if I want to get to like the first positions or something like that.
So you take the role of being a tournament favorite then?
No.
There's a lot of people that called you.
Ivan won the tournament already. I'm telling you. I'm just fighting for the.
Ivan hasn't even had a match yet.
I know, because he already won. That's.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
No. There are a few people which, like particularly new runners, like Army of One and Autumn. I saw that they are really favorite to win the tournament, and same with Ivan and few other people. But everything can go wrong, everything can go good. So it's just, let's see how this goes.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say about your routing that yesterday's routing was better because you did not save the animals.
No, because I didn't go to Sector 2. It was a 30-minute seed, but I lost a lot, 20 minutes like going around. But yeah.
So currently in the race from FPIS versus iLunix, we are done because iLunix went to the losers bracket after this one. I'm just going to open up the schedule for you and give you some further matches that we have planned today. We have Lenoffice versus the Grey Pigman, which is going to be at 5 p.m. here on the SpeedGaming channel. Then we have Metroid MST and Flipside at 6 p.m. on SpeedGaming 2. We have Chris versus Tapto, who are planning to do at least 3 matches if they have to, also at 6 p.m. on SpeedGaming 3. Then we have the second match of Metroid MST versus Flipside. And then we have Chris. Yeah, we basically have 3 more matches scheduled for today on SpeedGaming 1 to 3, starting at 5 p.m. and then at 6 p.m. So make sure to... Pigman says he cannot wait to wreck an office. Yeah, we have quite a few more races of Metroid Fusion scheduled today and tomorrow and all the next few weeks coming up while this tournament is progressing. Are there any... Yes, it's this?
Sorry.
No, please.
No, I said, okay, yeah, that's true. There are a lot of matches, even today.
Yeah, we have a few matches scheduled today. If there are not any questions otherwise in the chat, or if FPIS doesn't want to say anything more, then we can just call it here. I'm not ignoring chat.
Oh yeah, I got low height the second time in a row.
Yeah, I stopped shouting out all your swag tricks the moment you decided to save animals. I actually shouted out your low high giants perk, but okay. Yeah.
I hope he did not die or soft lock this time.
No, Lunix is currently standing at the famed Sector 3 unlock, security level 3 unlock that we have heard exists, but he actually managed to find it. He has not gone into Sector 6 yet, so he does not have the items he needs to finish this race. But he chooses to just not finish the race at all, but which is fine if he doesn't want to. Yeah, so if we do not have anything else from chat or from FPIS, and we're gonna hand it back here to SpeedGaming. Be sure to catch the next race at 5 p.m. EST here on the main SpeedGaming channel, Woodland Office versus the Great Pigman. And thank you very much for watching.
All right, thank you for commentating, and
sure.
Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good day.